Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Four Scenes Fire American Soccer Show 2026 FIFA World Cup Round of 16 Matchday Review Show number 4, the last one in this round before we move on to the quarterfinals. Once again, I am joined by Michael Martinez from Cascadia FC as we review the last two matches in the round of 16. Argentina is a zombie soccer team. I will just say it right here and right now. You think they're dead. You think they're buried. You think it's all over. Egypt has this opportunity to take them out and finally move on to the promised land to get to the quarterfinals. No, no, no. Nope. If you can't kill them, you will be killed. And that's what
They pulled
Argentina
the
did
Senegal.
once again.
They pulled the Senegal. They had this game in the bag. They were arguably the better team throughout the entire, honestly, 78 minutes. Again, just like Senegal was, and then yet you give Argentina an inch, they're going to take a mile. Like, this is going to happen every single time.
Exactly.
I mean, they're inevitable, and it was hilarious that Messi missed that penalty. He made more in World Cup history. The first player to miss 2 penalties in a single World Cup. Hilarious. But I mean, look at him. He's on 8 goals and 4 assists now. It is absurd.
It is. The man will not die. The man, hell, he may stick around for the next Copa America. You never know.
Probably,
I mean,
right?
I mean, we'll see what happens. But the man is like the gift that just keeps on giving. And not only did he score another goal, but he assisted on the first goal for Argentina when they were down 2-0. That is just unreal and unthinkable. What was that? It's either an old movie or it's a cartoon or whatever it is. Oh no, yeah, it's the Joker and the Batman animated series. Why can't you just die?
God,
Why can't you just die?
The entire world with Argentina right now.
I know. It's crazy. And it's the same problem all the time. Like you said, and I've said, and we've both said, if you just slightly keep the door open just enough, like a little sliver of the door, Argentina will bust right through. They will find a way. You give them an inch of space, and they'll find a way to get you. They always do.
Yeah, I mean, they showed that again with Cabo Verde, which again they should have put that away way sooner. But hey, Cabo Verde put in a good fight, and Argentina put a good fight, or Egypt put a good fight as well. I mean, they did exactly what we were talking about yesterday, where they found those spaces, especially when Christian Romero and Lisandro Martinez are pressing too high, or the entire Argentina's line of confrontation is too high. Like, they were able to get in and play a lot of good through balls to each other. And a lot of good interplay, especially in that first 65-ish minutes before the tide started to turn, before the goal happened. And I mean, Egypt were really, really fun. Their second goal that got called back, I was frustrated because I was like, oh, are you shitting me? Like, come on, this had to happen with Messi in Argentina. But I mean, there was a foul in the build-up. It was the one time that VAR stepped in and got it right. It's just wild that this. Again, another African side does the same exact thing, and they just can't handle it and just fall apart.
The problem is that when you are a national team like Egypt, that look, they're trying, not so much riding the coattails of Morocco, but they want to write their own story. They want to go and show, watch us, we're going to make our move to the semifinals where Morocco was in the last World Cup. But the problem is always this: they continue to put themselves behind the 8 ball when they commit these fouls that will knock them off their game. Now, at the time, it was still 1-0 because the 2-0 was chucked off because of the VAR review, even though 7 minutes later, they got that goal back to make it 2-0. But they just don't know how to complete a win. An absolute win. Okay, you coughed up the first goal to Argentina, fine. find a way to get back into the game and prevent the second one. No, you can't prevent the second one either because you don't know who's going to be basically the predator inside the area that can dominate you and bury that ball right through your goalkeeper. Now, don't take nothing away from their goalkeeper. He was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
But he's the same thing. He's made great saves, but then those first two goals, he got a hand on it, but not enough. And that is the problem.
I mean, yeah, as soon as that first goal for Argentina went in, their entire team lost their composure. Their defensive shape suffered quite a bit. I mean, I noticed that immediately. Like, yeah, they wanted to try and press get that third goal, but I mean, everything just kind of broke down. And they kind of lost control of the box. And I mean,
Mhm.
and I feel like as soon as they brought on Lautaro Martinez, Argentina, and I felt like they had a lot more control in the game, and they were able to get a lot more things done that they wanted. They had to try and plan for. Which I mean, Lautaro Martinez, he's a fantastic striker. He's easily one of the best in the world, and I can see him probably starting the next game again. I mean, he got the
Mhm.
assist. He got an assist tonight, which was you can't expect that when he's playing in the box.
Yep. No, exactly. Look, I give credit to Mustafa Schober. He was excellent in goal, especially like you said, he stopped Messi scoring a penalty. That is tremendous. I mean, you can have that on your resume. You can tell your grandkids how you stopped Messi, later in life. Even your own children, one day it's like they ask you, hey, is it true you stopped Lionel Messi from scoring a penalty? Yes, I did. And then it becomes, but I couldn't stop him in the second half, unfortunately. And that's what he does to even the best or even the up and coming goalkeepers in this game. He will make you look silly when you think you have an advantage on him.
I mean, and that's just kind of the Messi effect. We've seen that time and time again since he joined MLS. We've seen it for years now since he's been playing at the professional level, and just there's a reason why Messi is the greatest player of all time. Like
Exactly.
it's undisputed at this point.
It is. It really, really is. And I have to say, it's just been a thrill to watch him just, keep going at this level. Obviously, he's not the speedster he used to be. He's more sprinting than I would say running, but he still has the tactical mind of being in the proper and the correct position in the attacking third and when to deliver across and when to score the goal. That
Mhm.
mind is still working, still available, and he's looking pretty damn good still, regardless of his age.
Oh yeah, that's that Barcelona DNA. He got that from Xavi and Iniesta. Like the way they helped him and groomed him to be the player that he is. I mean, obviously, he was going to be one of the best players of all time, regardless of them. But I think him playing with them for such a long time and able to adapt it to his own style of play, I think just made him that much better. And it's still like you said, it's still relevant to this day. He still does the same exact things he was doing in Barcelona, just a little less speed.
Hmm.
But it's terrifying to see a player his age and still able to pull this stuff off.
Exactly. It really, really is. What do you think Scaloni is thinking right now inside his technical area of what he's been watching this team going from, you know, you've had an easy group stage. You had a major bump with Cabo Verde, even though you finally got out of it. You have a You're behind most of the match until the comeback. You wonder what's going through his mind right now, and do you think he can win another World Cup?
I don't think so. There's way too many defensive issues with this team right now, and even with Dibu Martinez and between the sticks, I still think he's had that great of a tournament this
Hmm.
year. Like yeah, 2022 he was fantastic. That's why he got the Golden Glove. Like he was making stops left and right. But this year does not. He seems kind of past it a little bit, or he's losing his focus quite a bit. And I think that's going to be Argentina's downfall. I mean, like we saw with these goals and a lot of the play that Egypt had when they were getting into the final third, is you have such a high line of confrontation and you rely on your center backs to make that step forward because you don't have a natural six. You're
Right.
playing with two eights slash tens in the midfield who can do defensive work but are not actual defenders, and so you're going to leave yourself with a lot of space in behind, and these teams are going to keep on taking advantage of it. All
Hmm.
it's going to take is going to be a better team to do that. And I don't know if Switzerland can do that. so much as much maybe as Colombia could, but I think they'll probably win the next round and probably be out in the semifinal. I don't think they're making the final or winning again.
No. Well, we'll see what happens. Stranger things have happened, and in the these in this game, you never know
Mhm.
what's going to happen. You like to predict the future, but sometimes it doesn't work. And once again, Argentina just finding another way to make another comeback and to survive. And they do advance to the quarterfinals. The final game of the round of 16, Switzerland and Colombia, scoreless in regulation, scoreless in the extra time, but the penalty kick shootout was where the Swiss were able to hold on. I thought this was a very good match, very defensive minded, but at the same time, each side had their opportunities to try and score a goal, and they just couldn't do it until they got to the shootout. And that you have to ask the question, why are center backs going in the first five of regulation penalty kick shootouts? Why is this happening? And don't they know that it's not working?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, they pulled like it's the same thing with Australia. Like, I mean, I it was just absurd. I mean, Davison Sanchez. I know he has taken a couple penalties here and there for club in his career, and he's been does a decent enough job. But I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't have, say, Campas be at number two, or even have Rios in there instead of Sanchez. I mean, Cucho Hernandez should have put his chance away, put his penalty away. We've seen him do
Mm-hmm.
it in MLS countless times. We've seen him do it now in Liga too. And it's just honestly, this Colombia side, they shot themselves in the foot this entire
Yes.
tournament. Like, I mean, they are such a talented side with so many talented players coming for the box or coming from the bench, and even their starting 11, even with their some of their aging players, are still really really good. But you create these fantastic chances just to not put them away. Like, what are we doing? They had 21 touches in the box and only like 3 shots on goal. Like, come on.
I know. It's just crazy. Someone's got to put something away. But
Yeah.
look, you got to give credit to the goalkeepers. Look, you got to give credit to Gregor Nobel of Switzerland and Camilo Vargas of Colombia. They kept their sides in the match, did not give up a single inch of grass to the offense of against them, and they kept the ball out of the net. It was empty for basically 120 minutes until the penalty kick shootout. But anyway, I want to just say this: I'm happy that both Vargas and Briel Embolo, nasty collision inside the Columbia area, but thankfully both men were okay. I mean, I don't know how Embolo was able to jump back up and just start walking around like it's nothing. And there's Vargas still on the freaking floor trying to find out what Mack truck hit him into next week. And, I mean, it could have been worse. Thankfully, it wasn't. Both men obviously knew it was an accident. It was not intentional when they came together. And, great job from both men. The sportsmanship was absolutely fantastic.
I mean, it doesn't help that Braylon Bolo is just, like you said, a Mack truck in himself. Like, he's a big boy. I would hate to run into him. I'd love to see him and Erling Haaland just kind of go shoulder to shoulder, see what would happen, just for the vibes. But I
Exactly.
mean, we have to credit the Swiss. They have been consistent throughout the entire tournament. They were never considered a favorites or a dark horse for
No,
many people. But I
no.
mean, they're putting in solid performances every single week, and I think that helps with the Granit Xhaka kind of leading this team and having that experience and that leadership is definitely
Yep.
helping this young side.
It really, really is. And let me also say this. I mean, I give the Swiss a lot of credit because 9 times out of 10, when you talk about the Swiss, in the past, they've been probably one of those in between teams in Europe. We all know the top four, obviously England, Germany, Italy, Spain. But Switzerland, I think right now I think they're creeping up to getting to maybe I would say top five, maybe a little bit more, top six, top seven. I mean, they probably are right now either in the top 10 or just below the top 10. I have to check the FIFA rankings for Europe, but honestly, once again, the Swiss and at times Belgium and also the Czechs. These are these national teams where they're either hit or miss, but the Swiss have been consistent. They've been very, very good, not just on the attack, but the defense and the goalkeeping. They've been, a top-notch side.
I mean, yeah, and you have to give credit to their manager, Murat Yakin, he's helped lead this team to kind of this style of play that they have now. Like they're honestly a really super entertaining side, and obviously take FIFA ratings with a grain of salt. I
Hmm.
mean, they're 19 now in
Hmm.
the world according to
Hmm.
the FIFA World Rankings, which is
Hmm.
they definitely been climbing up year after year, and especially after with every great Euro performance. And
Hmm.
again, they're going to do that again with this one. I can see them really building off of this World Cup campaign and kind of taking it to the big guys.
No, exactly. And I've always said that, with whoever qualifies for the World Cup, they have to make the jump in the rankings. That's how I feel. I feel like whoever qualifies for the World Cup, it went from 32, now it's 48. So whoever were the top 48, they should at least get a boost in the world rankings if you do qualify for the World Cup. And then wherever you finish, then you can start, separating who's in the top 10 and who's in the next 10 and the next 30, 40, and all that other stuff. So, but that's another show for another time. But still, though, the Swiss really looked good. And, what, of course, it's the Swiss goalkeeper that makes the second save, and unfortunately not Vargas. So great job by Noble getting well, actually, I wouldn't say that. He had one save, and the
And one
first
miss.
one hit the bar and bounced down and out. So that's a miss. But at least, look, technically, if you want to say it's a save, whatever you want to say, I don't care. But still, though, Noble made that huge save on the fourth attempt for Colombia, and that was a damn good, a great job by him on Cucho Hernandez.
Oh yeah, I mean it helps that Kobo is one of the best keepers in the world. Like the things that, and he's shown that in his time at Dortmund for
Hmm.
sure. And I imagine there'll be a lot more eyes on him now because he's only 28 years old. He has at least another good 10 years in him, and at
Yeah.
least probably two more World Cups. And
Hmm.
he is definitely going to help lead the Swiss team to go even further. Like I'm excited for the Swiss team because there's a lot of players that kind of going into this that I was really excited to watch,
Hmm.
especially Ruben Vargas and obviously Granit Xhaka. He's just I hate him at Arsenal, but I really liked him at Leverkusen and Sunderland. Like
Yes.
it's been fun to watch his journey kind of after leaving Arsenal.
Hmm.
But I mean, again, the Swiss side can be dangerous for a lot of teams,
Yeah.
but it just depends if they can get it all right against Argentina.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, so far now, we are now down to the quarterfinal round, the last eight, now going into further on in this tournament, into the quarterfinals. Here's the schedule for what we're going to see this coming Thursday, because tomorrow we're getting a break, folks. You're getting a break from us. We're getting a break from you. We're all getting a break from the World Cup. We can now breathe. We can have a normal meal.
Rest.
We can rest, extra sleep. You wanted it. Sometimes we need it too. Starting off July 9th, the French will be taking on Morocco at 4 o'clock Eastern. That match will be played over in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And then on Friday, July the 10th, Spain will take on Belgium at 3 o'clock Eastern. And that game will be over at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, just outside of Los Angeles and nearby LAX. So, if you want to catch your flight, it's not that far away. And then we got the two remaining quarterfinal games on Saturday, July the 11th, as Norway will take on England over at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens near Miami, Florida. And finally, Argentina taking on Switzerland at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. And that's at 9 o'clock Eastern as well. Of course, let's not forget, it's going to be 4 Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for France and Morocco, 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific for Spain and Belgium, 5 Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, Norway, England, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, Argentina and Switzerland. All matches in English on Fox, streaming on Fox 1. And then, of course, in Spanish, all matches broadcasted on Telemundo and streaming on NBC's Peacock's website and or app on your mobile device. Here's an interesting thing that popped up on us that I wasn't expecting all of a sudden, but you know what? It got started by the Olympic Committee. Apparently, coming very soon, I believe in the next. I'm assuming this will be for the Summer Games coming in 2028, and also for the next Winter Games. The Olympic Committee will officially remove their ban for Russian athletes. So that means that Russia, obviously, there's still a lot of fighting going on over there against them in the Ukraine, or what's left of Ukraine. I don't know. We'll see what happens
Or for
there.
Russia at this point.
Yep, it looks like it. But right now, the Olympic Committee is going to allow the Russian athletes to participate in the next Olympics. I believe either this coming Summer Games or it'll be the next Winter Games. So that ban is going to be released from the Olympics, and it sounds like FIFA is going to follow suit as well. So Russia will be able to rejoin UEFA World Cup qualifying, UEFA Nations League, the UEFA, the European Cup, and even the Russian teams will be allowed to participate in the Champions League and the Europa League and the Conference League and all the European Cups and everything going forward. That's a look. Obviously, the Russian people who are professional athletes, whichever sport they play in, obviously this is not their doing, and they should not have been penalized for what their president of their country, of course, Vladimir Putin, did with Ukraine. But you know what? I think the Russian athletes have suffered enough. I think it's time for them to really come back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they've done their due diligence. They've stayed relatively quiet. I mean, a lot of athletes, you don't see them being pro Putin or pro the regime right now. But I mean, if we're going to allow Israel to participate in UEFA competitions, and you kind of have to let Russians do it because they're doing the same exact thing in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's no different. It's honestly it's worse, and yet Israel's still participating. But it'll be, I can at the UEFA level, at like from the club level, I think it should be interesting because there are a lot of good Russian sides that are there is playing the Russian league that usually compete fairly well in whether the Champions League, Europa League, all that. I don't see Russia being very competitive. If they even qualify for the Olympics for one, they haven't played together in Lord knows how long.
Yes, exactly.
Rate. And also, like, they never really done all that great in Nations League or in World Cup qualifying in the first place. Like, they were just lucky because they hosted in 2018. But I don't know. It's nice to see them back, but maybe they have some insider information that we don't know about the Russia-Ukraine war.
I don't know. I like to separate the politics and the sports myself. So I'm just giving out the news that the Olympics are going to bring them back, and it sounds like FIFA is going to probably bring them back into the fold as well. And probably Europe will probably have to do the same thing because if once FIFA says that we're allowing Russia to come back, UEFA has no choice but to let them back in. I mean, that's just a simple fact.
No, unfortunate.
Yep. I know. Look, this is what it is. Nothing you can do about it. And look, it sooner or later is bound to happen. Either this whole situation was over, or it was maybe nearly over. It was going to happen. So there's nothing you can say or do.
Yeah.
But look. All we care about is what's going on the pitch and what goes on in between the sticks for 90 plus minutes, an extra 30, or even penalty kick shootout. That's all we have to worry about. Also the downfall from the U.S. men's national team is going crazy all over the place. We have, sports talk radio in this country. Also up in Canada, even also probably in Mexico, talking about how the USA failed miserably against Belgium. And I give Taylor Twellman credit going on Yahoo Sports going on the Yahoo Sports daily video discussion, also going on with the Cooligans on Yahoo Sports. He has plain and simply said it. This is a failure. It is a failure that the way they lost to Belgium was an absolute disgrace. And I want to say something as well. You can definitely say Malik Tillman did great in this World Cup in that game against Belgium. The free kick was absolutely perfect. Obviously, took a deflection, but still, he's the one that delivered it, and it went in. I am going to basically absolve Matt Friesen goal, and I'll tell you why. Yes, I know it was a bonehead play to allow the third goal to happen. But the reality is that Chris Richards and Jedi Robinson abandoned him and put him in that position where he should never have been in the first place. And at the same time, Tim Ream should have stayed on his feet to at least keep the ball out. But no, he wanted to fall backwards. He wanted to kick his leg out. He wanted to go, oh my God, I got to stop it. And of course, he didn't do that. And the ball went in. Because honestly, if Matt Turner was in goal, that would have been more 8-1 than 4-1, if I'm being honest.
I mean, yeah, there are plenty of saves that Matt Freese had. That was like, oh, I can see Matt Turner letting that in.
Yep, exactly. Because
like,
I
I want to give Matt Freese the benefit of the doubt because he had a decent-ish game leading up to that
he did
mistake. But I don't want to put the full blame on other players around him. Like he should have. Goalkeeper instinct is to clear it out.
Yes.
Not trap it on your chest and dribble it. Like yes, they should have been they should have been outlets for him to like lay the ball off or something, but just clear it out, man.
I agree.
I mean, keeper. Like I still put the blame on him, 100% full blame on him. Like he had a horrendous game.
No, he did.
But I don't know.
But still, though, I mean, we have to be fair a little bit to him because I felt his back line really failed him, and unfortunately, Tim Ream also failed him, and it's just terrible. Pulisic, honestly, I don't care what he has to say post-match of that loss. He is injury prone. He doesn't want the captain's armband. Look, there will be, fans of his telling us, well, no, you're wrong. You're wrong on this. You're wrong on that. No, look, if Christian Pulisic does not get selected for the men's national team again, I will not lose sleep. If they don't select him, I will not lose sleep over it because honestly, I just feel that not only is he he gets injured a lot, unfortunately, and that's a shame to say it. But he is. He's made out of glass. But at the same time, he whines too much, especially from the Gold Cup situation in summer of 2025. I'm sorry. This is not obviously. This is not Clint Dempsey. This is not Landon Donovan. This is not Tim Howard. This is not Jermaine Jones. This is not Michael Bradley. This is not the national team of yesteryear where they would just say, yes, put me in. Just put me in and I will try and get the job done. Some of these players on this national team doesn't have that real intestinal fortitude to go out there and prove to not just themselves, but to prove to their coaching staff, their other teammates, and to every American soccer fan out there that they want to bully the game.
Maybe we talked about this yesterday. We kind of handed it down that no one on this team, bar Tillman, Balogun, Richards, and Sebastian Berhalter, have the mentality for this game right now.
Exactly.
And the results showed that. And I mean, there were countless lists online, whether it's on Blue Sky or Twitter or Facebook, whatever else. People just making like, oh, I don't want this player on this team. I want this player on this team. In reality is like we're going to see these players again,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the coaches, whether it's Poch or anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It depends if they actually step up or not.
Mm-hmm.
We saw
Exactly.
this team step up after the disaster that was Trinidad and Tobago in 2018.
Yep.
And I'm sure they'll feel the fan backlash from this, and they'll probably hopefully step up again.
Yep. They probably will.
The U.S. will never be world beaters ever
No.
in our lifetimes. Like, there's no possible way. The infrastructure here doesn't allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But I mean, quarterfinals is fine enough for the U.S. team for the next 100 years or so. Like, we have to accept that.
No, exactly. We have to accept that. Look, I want them to reach the quarterfinals at least. Do they have enough to maybe reach the semifinals? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know, because a long time ago, in the inaugural World Cup of 1930, the USA, and of course back then there wasn't a lot of teams back then, but they made it to the semifinals. They only played 2 games. They beat Belgium 3-0, and that's the only time they've ever beaten Belgium in the 1930 World Cup. That's it. Every other time they faced Belgium, it's been a loss. And of course, they beat Paraguay 3-0 in that one. And then they went straight to the semis to face Argentina, and they lost. So, am I hoping the next crop of young American players that we've seen now in MLS that looks like they're off to a good start so far, that maybe they do have the intestinal fortitude on the international level to make this senior national team and show these current guys that, we're here to take over your jobs, your spots? That's what I'm hoping for. And what I also want, simply put, is for U.S. soccer just allow the coach to make the roster. Allow him to pick the players who deserve to be on this roster. That's all. And another thing, do I hope that with this World Cup and the 5 matches that they've played, do I believe we may have some new fans coming in? Yes, I do. I am not telling these people who to or who not to root for if you choose to root for a club in Europe, in Mexico, in South America. But all I'm saying is that you can always add to your heart a club in the United States from Major League Soccer, from the USL, either in the Championship League, League One, League Two. Even if you have an amateur team, even if you have a small, short season team like the National Premier Soccer League, like the League for Clubs, even if you have an independent team in MLS Next Pro, please support the sport for this country. I know there's issues. I know there's problems. Michael knows this. I know this. We all know this. But the more we all support the game in this country as a whole, not just on the international level, but in the club level, along with any clubs you believe you want to support in Europe and or anywhere else in the world, is fine. But make room in your heart for your local clubs in this country, whichever state you live in. Because once again, if you want to see this national team one day, and I'm not saying it's going to happen in 2030 or 2034 or even 2038. It could happen after we're gone. But if you want to see and hope one day our national team goes out and finally makes a run and finally lifts that little golden trophy, please support the clubs in this country, whichever city, county, or state you live in. And don't forget to support the boys who are performing overseas in Europe, in South America, Mexico, anywhere in the world. They all deserve your support. Forget the arguments about, well, I'd rather support our American players in Europe and not in MLS. Look, we understand the whole argument, and it's silly. And hopefully MLS is now going to start understanding things need to change. We're off to a good start with changing to the international calendar, but in reality, they must continue to change everything so that we can attempt to be just as equal as everyone else.
Lovely sentiment, but I don't think MLS will ever reach those highs. MLS is ceiling, I think, is maybe Eredivisie,
That's fine.
Eredivisie or the Belgian Pro League, but Don Garber and everyone else, all the other MLS executives, they keep pushing like, oh, we're going to be as big as Premier League, but as big as the Bundesliga. No, it's not going to happen.
No,
Like,
it's not going to.
we haven't had the point infrastructure like that at the top level ever. And the U.S. soccer's been there for over 100 years. We've had Open Cup for over 100 years, but like, if you're not allowing your first league to have that, then you're nothing more than a feeder league, and that's okay. But they need to accept that and build from that, and not just shoot for the stars.
No, exactly. And I think that's the problem here. The problem is that the league wants to shoot for the stars, but they don't understand that. And look, even I can see it myself. I know you see it. I see it. All of our colleagues see this. As much as I support MLS and I want them to be successful and I want them to do well, and one day I hope it will become a big boy league, meaning what England does, what Belgium does, what Germany does, and what Italy does, and what Spain does, and what all the European leagues do, even the African leagues, and the Asian leagues, and the Middle East leagues, and the South American leagues. We have to get bigger. We have to get better. We have to normalize everything from top to bottom. And yes, Don, I know you're going to be stepping down soon, but you got to tell the owners it's time to not go against the other leagues below you. It's time to become a real partner and actually say the damn words that you're afraid to talk about, but I'm not, and neither's anyone else. Will it happen here? I don't know. But I do believe that very soon, one day down the road, we've got to have promotion and relegation between all the professional leagues and all the other leagues connected with American soccer under their umbrella.
That'd be the dream, but too bad the American mentality is money, 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 and no one wants to lose money. So as much as I want it to happen, right now it's too much of a pipe dream.
It is.
And I hope that it works in USL and USL 1.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that the relegation pro rel works there, but I think that'll be the testing ground to see if it works, see if US Soccer actually implements it.
We'll see what happens. But like I said, I don't want to see us going against each other. I don't want us to go against ourselves. We're already in a civil war in the soccer wars is really a civil war. It really is. If it's not league versus league or Division I versus the rest, it's definitely the fans inside the country.
Mm-hmm.
We should all be together. We should all work together. Look, we'll battle each other out for the 90 minutes. That's a given. That's an automatic. That's fine. But once the final whistle blows, we all shake hands. We give each other a hug. Good game. Let's get a beer. Let's hammer it out. Let's talk about what we're going to do on our day off, and that's it. And that's all I want. Because there's too much division within the league structures and within our American soccer fan base. And that's what we got to get away from. We got to be back as a whole, not separate.
Well, hopefully maybe whoever takes over Don Garber's job can help support that.
That's the hope. That's all we can do. I mean, I wish I wish I was the president of U.S. Soccer, but unfortunately I'm not. I wish I could, try to hammer out ideas, which I do, but no one's going to take my ideas because I'm not within the walls of Soccer House in Fayetteville, Georgia, nor am I in the walls of MLS HQ in New York City or USL HQ in Tampa. I'm not. All I can do is just put out what I think should happen and why this will be either good or what it will go against the sport in our country.
I mean, until U.S. soccer develops a backbone and actually stands up against MLS, who knows if that'll ever happen?
Exactly. And that's the problem right there. Once U.S. soccer conceded a certain amount of power to MLS, everything has been going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's all money.
Yep, that's right. Yes. Look, we understand money makes the world go round. We're not questioning that. But it shouldn't always be about the money. It's about Where do we advance our programs on the international level? How do we show? How do we show? Not just doing well within CONCACAF, but when we'll have that magical run to win the World Cup.
That's the dream.
Yes, it is. It's right now. It's a pipe dream, and I understand. It's a pipe dream. It's just not healthy right now. But look, all I want is these new fans to just understand. You know, listen to what we tell you guys because we know what's going on. We're not trying to, sunshine and rainbows all the time. There will be losses. There will be bad moments. Every bad moment will always have a good moment, no matter what. But the point is this, is that when the bad moments go too far or when a really bad moment showed up, just like it did yesterday, we got to find a way to truly fix it, not just throw up a Band-Aid and pray to God it sticks.
And that seems all anybody is doing right now until something actually happens, unfortunately.
Exactly. So what are you going to do for your day off tomorrow from the show? Work? That's right. Yeah. Yeah, for me, this is work.
Must be nice. I don't get paid for this, so.
I know. I don't get paid either, unfortunately. I wish I could pay you, but unfortunately I can't. But look, we still love this game, right?
Mm-hmm. Of course,
yep.
Always.
Absolutely. Michael, as always, I appreciate you joining me tonight. Enjoy tomorrow's rest day, and I'll see you Thursday.
You enjoy it as well. See you Thursday.
I will. Good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. And once again, if you are interested in the Pacific Northwest footy, of course, Cascadia FC is your website to go to. Michael Martinez covers the Seattle Sounders, Jeremy Peterman with the Portland Timbers. They also do the Vancouver Whitecaps as well. Once again, for Michael Martinez, I'm Daniel Feuerstein. Thank you very much for watching us tonight. Join us on Thursday for the quarterfinal first day match day review show, and it should be a real banger. Thank you very much for watching us tonight. Take care, so long, and please enjoy your football. Have a good night. Take care, so long, and bye-bye for now. Have a good night, everybody.